Right, hello lads and lasses, and welcome back to Boys Down Under, where we have got a very contentious video today, and by that you guys get to see what I think is Celtic's best starting 11, considering our new signings, our 3 Japanese Donnies, as well as considering if every single player was fit and healthy, so no injury. So really, what is our best starting 11 out of everything? So before we go any further though, please remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to help support the channel grow, and I would be forever appreciative if you guys did that. But without further ado, let's get into it. So we'll have a graphic up on the side here. I don't know what side yet, but it will be on one of the sides of me. And it's pretty straightforward, you know. We'll go through each position, starting from goalkeeper, ending at striker. And I'll give my thoughts and reasons. The cough's still not gone, but it's getting better. But a lot of you may disagree, but that's the fun of it. And if you do disagree, leave it in the comments below. So, as I said earlier, and I'll say it again, this is if every single player was fit and healthy, if there was no injuries in the squad, and Ant had the choice of every single squad member. So, let's not waste any more time and get straight into it. So, number 1 in goals, it's Joe Hart. I don't think I even need to explain this pick. I don't think anyone can disagree with this. If you still don't think Joe Hart is the best goalkeeper at this club, then you are very, very blind. There is no explanation needed. Wall, brick wall, that's all we need to say. Moving into right back now, I did something sneaky here. Some of you may have already picked up on it, but I did something very sneaky. I put a poll out yesterday in the community section, or I don't know where it goes, but I put a poll out asking you guys, who is the best option for right back? Is it Anthony Ralston, or is it Josip Juranovic? And you guys voted, and there is a decision. It's very, very close, but the majority of supporters think Anthony Ralston would be the best option for Celtic at right back. Look, I don't disagree with that. I think both players have their strengths and weaknesses. I think Josip Juranovic on the ball is extremely better. I think he's much more composed on the ball. He's much better at. I think he's much more composed on the ball, and I think he's got a lot more speed than Ralston. However, Ralston, he is defensively, he is miles clear of Juranovic. I think he is his ability to read the game is very strong. His tackles very strong. He's very, very strong. I'm using the word strong a lot. I don't know why, but he's so much aggression and passion. Ralston. He knows what it is to play for the badge, and I think Ralston does win out here. I think I would rather see him at right back, and I think a lot of you may disagree with me because that poll was extremely close. So I understand where the people who want to see Juranovic starting are coming from without a doubt. Moving into right centre back, and it has to be Cameron Carter-Vickers. He has been our best centre back this year without a doubt. He's got pure brute strength. You know, I think he needs to be signed past this year without a doubt. He reads the game so very well, and he saved Carl Starfelt on a lot of occasions when he's stuffed up. And so obviously that leads us into the left centre-back spot, and there's a lot of differing opinions on who the second best centre-back at the club is, because I think the majority of support agree Cameron Carter-Vickers is the best we have right now. But you know, you have the Julian fans, you have the Welshie fans, and then you also have the fans who are a bit deluded and think Starfelt deserves a second chance. For me, big believer in Julian. I think a lot of you who have been on this channel for a while, who have supported me for a while, know that I'm a big believer and a big fan of Christopher Julian. I think once he is fit and ready to go, he slots back into this starting 11 without a doubt. A lot of people disagree. I understand where they're coming from, wanting to give Stephen Welsh more minutes because, you know, he's young, he's upcoming, he's going to be at this club for a long time. He's potentially a future captain of the club. But I think Julian brings a lot more experience and a lot more composure at the back. And that's not to say Welsh doesn't do that, but I think as well, I think the height Julian brings is such a valuable asset, you know, 6'4", almost 6'5". I think we need him in that starting 11. But if he does fail to deliver, I do believe that Welsh should be second in line and not Starfelt, as I think Ant would go with. Moving in to left back, and you know, I wish I did this as a poll because right now I am still very in a tossing up mood. I'm not 100% certain on who I want because it's a very hard decision between Greg Taylor and new signing Rio Hatate. I don't think Liam Scales is in the conversation just yet. I think he's been really good, but I don't think as a starting left back, I don't think he's in that conversation. I've never been a fan of Greg Taylor. I'll be honest with you guys. I've always had my doubts on him, I must say, but some of his recent performances have been very, very impressive. Is that because the bar is set so low for him? That's up for you guys to decide, but I have been impressed with him, I must say, and he certainly has exceeded expectations when he has been called upon this season. As for Hatate, I think he will impress wherever Ange puts him, because as we all know, he is not a utility, that's a bit mean. He is a very well-rounded player. He can play anywhere on the field. I think he will impress anywhere without a doubt. I think his best position probably is a left back though. And look, at the end of the day, let's put it this way. In our first match back, do I want to see Rio Hatate there instead of Greg Taylor? Yes, I do. So Rio Hatate gets the nod at left back. Moving into the midfield we go. Now, personally, I believe our best midfield right now, with all players fit, considering they are fit, is the one we've been playing all season. You know, I think with that midfield triangle of dreams, as I like to call it sometimes, McGregor at CDM, he's been leading like as a captain this year. I don't understand where the McGregor caters are coming from. I think I seriously don't understand. I think what makes him such a great CDM is his ball distribution. You know, when playing out from the back, he's everywhere. He's got a great passing game, really sensational passing game. And there's so many prime examples of it, you know, assisting David Turnbull in the Dundee United game. He assisted Kyogo in the League Cup final. There's many more examples of it. Those are just two of the strongest. I think he's such a solid CDM, and he's our captain. I think he needs to be there at CDM when everyone's fit. I'm a big fan of Callum McGregor. Moving into centre mid, as we all know, it's David Turnbull, someone as well who doesn't get a lot of praise, someone who's actually, I think, been very undervalued this season for Celtic. I think it's unnecessary, that undervalueship. I think he should be getting a lot more plaudits. His work rates are through the roof. You know, he played every game for Celtic this season until he got injured. You know, I think the only frustrating side of his games are his set pieces, but they are getting better. That's the main thing. But I do really sincerely think David Turnbull is a great box-to-box midfielder, and I think he seriously can nail. I think he could be Celtic's box-to-box for many years to come. He's still such a young lad. People keep forgetting. He's 23. I believe he's got years ahead of him, and I think he's shown so much raw potential. He's also really refined a lot of his game, and I can't wait to see what's in store for him. Then at Cam, I don't think a single person? What am I, from Boston? I don't think a single person can disagree with this decision. I don't think a single person can have any complaints about this choice. There is no differing opinion here. The Wizard of Oz has to be at Cam. Thomas Rogic, he has been absolutely superb this season, you know. If he continues this form, it will be the best season he has had in a Celtic jersey, without a doubt. I think I can't speak more highly of him. He's been absolutely phenomenal for Celtic and for everyone at the club. You know, he's putting out record numbers. And another thing about him, Tom Rogic is one of those players you don't expect to play 90 minutes because he has these fitness issues, which we've seen over the last 4 or 5 seasons while he's been at Celtic this whole time. Yet somehow Ange has just miraculously gotten him playing 90 minutes game after game, you know. Okay, I've got it here. He played the full 90 against St Johnstone. The match before that against St Mirren, he played the full 90. The match before that against Hibs in the League Cup final, such a demanding fixture, he played the full 90. The match before that, he came on as a sub against Ross County. A bit of respite, fair enough, understandable. Then the match before that, he played the full game, the full 90 minutes against Motherwell. And all he's got to do now is stay fit, stay out of trouble, stay out of injury, because honestly, there's been so many standouts for Celtic this season, but Tom Rogic has just been such a shining light. It's been like a new signing this season for Tom Rogic. I know we say it about a lot of players, but he has been like a new signing. He's been, and I always say, I don't know what we'd do without him. I don't know where we'd be right now if he was in Qatar earning millions and millions and millions of dollars. But going into the front three, and it's safe to assume the front three, the three players who are going to be in our front three, it's just a bit of a debate on where those players are actually positioned. So we'll start with the right wing because it is the most contentious spot. Do we play Dyson Maeda on the right-hand side, or do we play Jota? Don't know why I had to think about that. Both players are predominantly left-sided left fielders. You know, I think recently in a few videos I've been saying that I think it's going to be Jota, the man to move to the right, but sleepless nights and insomnia have changed my mind. And I personally think Dies and Maida will be on the right-hand side. Now, let me explain this, because I think if you put Jota on the right-hand side, I think it takes away the most important part of his game, the cutback. It's something so prolific in Portuguese footballers. I think if you take out that cutback out of the game, you take out so much flair and dangerousness away from Jota, because what makes him such a great footballer is that on that left-hand side, you don't know if he's going to play it in on his left or he's going to play it in on his right. He's got such a great weak foot. Or he's going to cut back in. You just don't know what's going to happen. And his trickery just adds to that. I think you get the most out of Jota if you play him on the left. So that's why I think Dies and Maida will be on the right. And I think pure pace. I think he'll just use his pure pace, gas defenders. He's got great footwork. And I think the right-hand side is going to be where we see Dies and Maida. Obviously, if we'll get into that. So Dies and Maida on the right, Jota on the left. They're down the middle. We all know who it's going to be. I don't even need to say the name, but I will. It is Georgios Giakoumakis. I deserve that coughing fit. I definitely deserve that coughing fit. I'm sorry, guys. I shouldn't make bad jokes like that. It's Kyogo. Kyogo, without a doubt. I'm not even going to bother putting a graphic of Giakoumakis in that lineup, because it has to be Kyogo. It'd be disrespectful to Kyogo for him not to be there. No arguments, no complaints from anyone there. I think if we head back into the first match against Hibs and Kyogo doesn't end up being fit, I think the best option to go with is Dies and Maida through the middle, Jota on the left if he's fit, and then Jamesy Forrest on the right, for that's the Hibs game. But as this video is, if everyone's fit and healthy, Jota on the left, Dies and Maida on the right, and then Kyogo straight bang down through the middle. But yeah, that is my best Celtic starting 11. 3 out of the 4 Japanese Donnies make the team. Oh, I must say, I forgot to say, because David Turnbull is out for 2 months, it means he won't be fit for the Hibs game. So we could see a range of options there. We could see Baton at CDM, McGregor at centre mid. We could also see the introduction of Yasuki Itaguchi, and we could see him go into that centre mid or CDM role and McGregor moved around. But look, I think 3 out of the 4 Japanese Donnies make the team. I don't think we have seen enough of Yasuki Itaguchi. We haven't seen enough in the highlight reels. I know it's the highlight reels, but still, I don't think there is enough there to warrant him pushing David Turnbull or Callum McGregor out of the team on first glance. Obviously, if the performances are better, obviously you go off performances, and if he's performing well, he deserves a spot. As with all the other positions, like Rio Hatate, if he doesn't perform, Greg Taylor should go in. It is what it is, but I think on face value, 3 out of our 4 Japanese players should be in the starting lineup. And yeah, that is that. But that is all from me. So if you do disagree with any of the picks, because I'm sure a lot of you will, leave it in the comments below. And yeah, remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, hail, hail.